have absolutely no issue saying this. This is hands down the perfect burger. There's two burgers here, and they're both perfect in their own way. I've got the most ideal version of a smash burger, but then of course we also have the long and forgotten, something we haven't really appreciated in a while. Whatever happened to big, thick, juicy burgers? Both of these will be involved. You pick and choose, but I think these are the most perfect versions of each, so let's make them, shall we? We'll start this off by making a beautiful homemade dill pickle, followed by my classic burger sauce that's a little bit simplified but still insane. And then we'll have two different styles of burger for you, a Oklahoma style smash burger and the thick and juicy burger, both of which I think are the best versions of themselves. So let's start off with our pickles. Yeah, sure, you can go and buy them, and I use store-bought all the time. But the downside is there's sort of a store-bought aftertaste I've noticed. It kind of takes away from that really nice, deep dill flavor. So when you make your own, you really get a flavorful pickle. So I have 1 cup of white distilled vinegar and ½ cup of water, 2 tablespoons of sugar, and 1½ tablespoons of kosher salt, 1 tablespoon of coriander seeds, and 1 teaspoon of black peppercorns. Bring it to a boil over medium-high heat. Then once it's hot, we're gonna pour it over our cucumbers. But first we're gonna get those prepared. You're gonna want 5 pickling cucumbers on a mandolin. I prefer to slice them just because it's consistent. I slice them like, about 1/4 inch thick, roughly. Cucumbers are gonna go into your jar. Make sure this jar is heat proof because you're pouring boiling liquid in it. What happens when you pour boiling liquid into a glass container that's not heat proof? It explodes. Just letting you know in case you have small children. Our liquid is boiling. Pour that directly over our cucumbers. Take 2 cloves of garlic, just lightly bruise them, place those in. Nice few generous sprigs of dill and just press that in there. Now let that cool at room temp till room temperature, then you have pickles. Now for our sauce, 3/4 cup of a mayo, any mayo, homemade mayo, Duke's mayo, just a nice thick creamy mayo. Whatever you do, don't use some sort of flavored bullshit. Plain. You do a 1/3 cup of yellow mustard and then a 1/3 cup of ketchup. About 1 to 2 tablespoons of thinly sliced chives, 1 teaspoon of granulated sugar, 1 tablespoon of Worcestershire sauce, just a little pinch of MSG, maybe 2, 2 cloves of garlic grated, and then salt and pepper to taste. Now whisk that together until thoroughly combined and homogeneous. That is our sauce. You can add other things to this. Oftentimes I find myself adding caramelized onion to it, which is kind of like an In-N-Out spread. The leverage of flavor for the effort, worth it, honestly. For the toppings, 1 yellow onion. Just gonna cut the top off, leave the bottom attached. I always tend to remove the first layer of onion. Some people like to just remove the skin. Personally, I think the first layer of onion is usually kind of swag. We need this onion cut so ridiculously thin, to be honest with you. You could do it with a knife. I would highly recommend you use a mandolin. This isn't just gonna be a topping to your burger. It is the signifying agent to creating an Oklahoma smash. Beautiful, thin, lacy, and I'll show you what we do with them after we get the rest of our toppings done. I have a nice, juicy, medium-sized heirloom tomato. I like to slit off the bottom and then just cut that bad boy into around 1/4 inch thick slices. We are gonna be using a red onion. I want this cut into rings that are about 1/4 inch thick. I'm crying right now, by the way. These onions are real spicy. We're doing 2 different burgers for you. Where have the juicy burgers gone? Where have the thick and juicy boys gone? They've been taken a hold by the smash burger. So we're gonna make the best of both versions, starting with smash. You got 75 to 80% lean ground beef, 1 pound. I want 2-ounce balls. These are gonna be double patty smash patties. They're small patties, 2 ounces per patty, 4 ounces per burger. You got 4 servings. Thank you, Josh. You're such a mathematician. Oh, no big deal, guys. You're gonna take all these and you're gonna roll them into balls. They don't have to be perfect because you're just literally gonna smash them down, but I would try to get them somewhat rotund. All right, I got my balls. The more awkwardly shaped they are, the more awkwardly shaped they'll be when you press them. So just think about that. That's kind of all your prep. All you need to do at this point is slice your buns in half and toast them in butter or toast them in a toaster or leave them raw if you don't want to toast them. Fine, I'm not gonna tell anybody. I mean, I'll be disappointed. Now let's make a burger. Now you can do this on any cooking surface. We're using a carbon steel griddle, which I would highly recommend on 2 different burners. Get that ripping around medium high, and then place 2 patties down on the cooking surface once it's hot. Add a generous mound of your thinly sliced onions. Smash until about 1/4 inch thick. Season to taste with salt and pepper on both of them. Then let them cook for about 1 to 2 minutes. Scrape underneath, flip, season again with salt and pepper to taste. Add a slice of American cheese on both patties. Sear for 30 more seconds, stack 1 patty on top of the other, and they're ready to assemble. So first, bottom bun, your sauce, followed by your pickles, followed by your double cheesy patty, and then quite simply a sauced topped bun. That is it. Now for the thick boy burger, you're gonna need 1½ pounds of 75 to 80% lean ground beef. If you're on a diet, just shut up. That's it. I mean, this is not a diet burger. So these are gonna be about 6-ounce patties, roughly. You're gonna first roll them into loose balls. Take a ball, and you're gonna smack it into your hand, pick it up, rotate it, smack it. You're gonna do that a few times. All you're doing is just compacting the meat just a little bit without like totally smashing it, right? You're gonna press it out, and think about the size of your buns when you're doing this. You want this slightly wider than your bun because it's going to contract and become small and tall. Okay, so I have a rough patty shape here, right? You're gonna take that patty and just smack it. This is both flattening and compounding the meat together. If you're not sure if your patty is wide enough, go check it with your buns. It could be a little wider. Probably right about there is good. All right, stainless steel pan. You can also use a plancha or a flat top or any sort of whatever you want. Just don't use nonstick. Heat that over medium-high heat, just a touch of oil, right? Not a lot, just a touch, because this is gonna create its own oil anyway. Now, once that pan is ripping hot, you're gonna take one of your patties, place it in. You're not really smashing it, but I do want you to press it out. If you don't press it out, it won't get a full contact sear. I want that full contact sear. Season generously with salt, touch of black pepper. Now let that sear for about 2 to 3 minutes. Want a magic trick? Ooh, don't do that. Okay, so once this is ready, get your spatula underneath that bad boy and give it a little flip. Boom, dude, look at that Maillard reaction. You see what I'm saying? So you're gonna take a couple tablespoons of unsalted butter, let that melt in the pan, toss in a nice small handful of fresh thyme. Now push your burger away, tilt the pan towards you, and baste your burger and the thyme. Let it pick up those beautiful herbaceous flavors. Fatten that burger up, get it some nice brown butter flavor notes, just like a good quality steak. This is a steakhouse burger. So I want you to take this burger off, set it on a board, and let it rest. If you want, if you feel really naughty, you can always take a little spoonful of that butter, drizzle it over the top while it's resting, and let it cool. Let the proteins relax a little bit. Repeat with the rest of your patties. If you have enough space in your pan, do it in the whole pan. Bottom bun, a generous spread of mayo, a little drizzle of yellow mustard, followed by your pickles, your cheesy patty, your sliced red onion, tomato, which has been seasoned on both sides with salt, some crisp fresh lettuce, and crown your king. The question is, which one is better? Is it the thick burger that we've long and forgotten, or is it the smash burger? I mean, every time you have a good one, it hits everything. Fatty, rich, creamy, a little bit of sweetness, acidity to cut the richness. It's just like a perfectly balanced thing. The thick burger, on the other hand. I feel crazy saying this. 9 times out of 10, I would pick the smash burger. But today, after not having a thicker burger in the longest time, somehow this is actually a little bit more sustenance. It's a little bit more flavorful. This kind of becomes all one texture, and I love it. Don't get me wrong, smash burger's great. But the thick one is like giving me so many different layers of texture. I can actually really taste the beef at a much higher level than I can with the smash. So I think as long as you have great technique, you can make an amazing, amazing thicker burger that can fight and rival and possibly defeat the smash. But if you want something easier, that's just like quick and gonna be delicious almost no matter what, make the smash burger. The choice is yours. Subscribe, love you, bye.